Okay, let's start with a really big question. What if the spiral of a distant galaxy and the pattern of your own thoughts were actually connected? Today, we're going to explore a wild blueprint for reality, one that links the entire cosmos to your consciousness and shows you the incredible power you have to literally become the architect of your own world. So just take a look at these two images. On one side, you've got this massive, spiraling galaxy. We're talking trillions of miles across. And on the other, the complex electromagnetic fields firing inside a human brain. I mean, they couldn't be more different in scale, right? But just look at them. The resemblance is absolutely uncanny, isn't it? So what's the deal here? Is this just a cool coincidence, a random quirk of nature? Or could this visual echo actually be a massive clue, pointing to a deep, fundamental connection between how our minds are structured and how the universe itself is put together? All right, here's our roadmap. We're going to start huge, with the universe itself. Then zoom in to the repeating patterns you see everywhere, and then bring it all the way home to you, to the very real power you have inside your own mind. Okay, let's dive right in. Our whole journey starts with a pretty radical idea. The universe isn't what we think it is. It's not just empty space with some rocks and gas floating around. It's something way more alive. So some scientific models are now proposing that reality at its most basic level is just this vast, interconnected field of pure information. You can think of it as a kind of universal consciousness, a cosmic database where all knowledge, past, present, and future exists, and our brains might just be able to tap into it. And get this isn't just some philosophical thought experiment. Cutting-edge physics, like M-theory, suggests our entire 3D universe might be like a single sheet of paper, a brain, floating in a much larger, higher-dimensional reality, which means there could be a whole lot more to reality than what we can see. Okay, so if the universe is this massive ocean of information, is there any order to it? You bet there is, and the answer is found in these beautiful, endlessly repeating patterns. This pattern is what's known as a fractal. And you see the same fundamental swirling geometry absolutely everywhere, at every single scale you can imagine. We're talking from the grandest galaxies and black holes down to hurricanes on Earth, the double helix of your DNA, all the way down to the spin of a single particle of light. It's the same pattern over and over. Now, this is the crucial part. This self-repeating pattern, this scale invariance, means the universe seems to be using the same operating system everywhere. And that strongly suggests that there's a deep structural connection between the biggest things in the cosmos and the tiniest building blocks of you and me. So how exactly does this huge cosmic pattern connect back to us, personally? Well, this brings us to the most important piece of the entire puzzle. This amazing thing between your ears, the human brain. How does it plug into this whole information network? Some of these models suggest that information flows through the universe in a very specific shape. It's called a torus, which, is basically a donut. So just picture a continuous, self-sustaining loop of energy and information, constantly flowing through everything. And here's where it gets absolutely mind-bending. That very same donut shape, the torus, is also being proposed as a model for how our own brain organizes its mental workspace. It suggests our brain isn't just a meat computer, it's a biological antenna, perfectly designed to receive information from this universal flow. Think about what that really means. It means your brain might not be the generator of consciousness locked inside your skull. It's more like a super advanced biological radio, tuning into the consciousness that already exists everywhere in the universe. Okay, so if our brain is a receiver that's tuned into the cosmos, what does that do to our sense of being a separate me? That feeling that you're just this little person looking out at a big, separate world. The philosopher Alan Watts nailed it, really. He said that this feeling of being an isolated little ego is basically a hallucination. In reality, each and every one of us is a point where the entire universe is expressing itself. It's not that you're in the universe, you are the universe experiencing itself. And you can actually experience this. It's about realizing that you are not the constant voice chattering in your head. You're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions. You are the quiet, still awareness behind all of that. The silent watcher that is just pure consciousness itself. Okay, this is all fascinating, right? But the most important question is, so what? How do we take this huge idea and actually use it to change our lives for the better? Let's get into the practical toolkit. One of the most tested and powerful tools we have is something called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and it's built on a beautifully simple premise. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all tied together. If you can consciously change how you think, you can fundamentally change how you feel and what you do. The process is like becoming a detective for your own mind. Step 1, just start paying attention and catch those automatic negative thoughts as they pop up. Step 2, take the one that feels the most intense, the hot thought, and put it on trial. Ask yourself, is there any real evidence this is true? And step 3, you consciously write a new thought, a better, more balanced one, to replace the old, busted one. And here's another awesome tool. It's from a field called Psychocybernetics, and it views your brain as a kind of goal-seeking missile, a success mechanism. It will automatically go wherever you aim it. And how do you aim it? By using your imagination to create super vivid, detailed, emotional pictures of what you want, programming that reality into your nervous system. You know, this isn't some brand new idea. Thinkers have been saying this for centuries. As James Allen wrote over 100 years ago, you can't always pick your circumstances, that's true, but you can always pick your thoughts. And when you do that, you indirectly, but absolutely shape those very circumstances. And this all brings us to the final and most empowering point of all. We've journeyed from the edge of the cosmos right into the patterns of our own minds, and we can see that it's all part of one seamless system. You can kind of see it as a cosmic feedback loop. So the physical world gives rise to our minds. Our minds can then understand the abstract universal laws that run the show, things like math and physics, and then those very laws are what create the physical world to begin with. It's all one big, incredible, self-creating circle. So here's the ultimate takeaway. You are not some passive observer just living in the universe. You are an active participant through which the universe is experiencing and creating itself. You are a conscious architect. And the blueprint for the reality you want to build, it starts and ends right here, inside your own consciousness. So the only question left is, what will you create?